Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and this is going to be episode 3 in my shelf spotlight on some of the cozy mystery series that I have on my shelves that I have collected. This project started because I have too many books, and it became very clear to me the other day that I needed to reorganize and figure out a different way of storage, maybe come up with some creative ways of storing some of my books so that I can get to them easier. And I just thought while I was doing this, I would take you along with me. It also goes hand in hand with my Binge Your Bookshelf project, which is a project that I started at the beginning of the year, and I invited you to come along with me. If you want to see the announcement about that and learn what that's all about, then check out the video. I basically said in the beginning of the year that I wanted to go through my shelves systematically and figure out which of these series I could get on audio and really work to binge listen to as many of them as I could in order to make some space, pull some off the shelves, go ahead, listen to them and let them go. Now, I know that I could do that without listening to them. If I know they're available on audio, I could go ahead and let them go, but I don't like to do that. I like to have the physical books in hand to show you. What if, and this happens, you know for sure that there's a book available on Hoopla and you've got it all lined up to read in a given month, and then you get to that month and it's disappeared. So I prefer to just hang on to them until I get them read. And I like to keep my series together. I like to finish a series. If I've collected the whole series, I want to finish it and then let those go as a group. So as I'm going along, I just thought I would bring you along with me. So the first video was focusing on Nancy Atherton. She's the author of the Aunt Dimity series. And before I get into today's video, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping here, because I finished that video and I have most of my books cataloged on my Kindle, and I hadn't even looked at it to see if I had all of my Aunt Dimity books cataloged. So as I was looking through, making sure that they were all in there, I discovered that I had cataloged 2 of them that I did not show you in the video, and I didn't even know where they were. That's how badly I needed to organize. I did since find them. These are books 21 and 22. Yes, of the Aunt Dimity series. Aunt Dimity and the Buried Treasure is 21, and Aunt Dimity and the Widow's Curse is 22. Now, I did show you a picture of them in the video, but I just had forgotten that I had those books, so I'm excited that I have them. All right, so then previous to this, I did a video about 3 different authors whose pen name starts with B. And so now I'm moving on to the letter C. Rather than group these together by theme, I thought it would be more fun, since the Killing Time with Cozies Discord group is doing an ABC challenge this year. I thought I would just show you the authors by letter. And I have 2 C authors that I'm going to show you today, 2 different series by authors whose name begins with C. And I'm going to do a separate video on another C author that I have a lot of books by. Now, I have quite a few other books by other authors that I'm not going to talk about today, like Sheila Connelly and Joelle Charbonneau, who you may not even know has cozy mysteries. I have read her YA dystopian series, but I have not read any of her cozies, and I own several of them. I'm trying to think who else. There are several, and but I don't have a lot of those books, so those will be for another day, another time. These are the 2 series that I have quite a few of, and I think I'll start with my favorite first. So I first learned about this series from my sister several years ago now. She read this, I don't know if she's read all 12 of these or not, but she read the first few and called me and said, you have to read these. Now, the reason she thought I would love them is because the main character is a librarian and they're very bookish. You wouldn't know that from the title of the series, because the series is the Southern Sewing Circle Mysteries. They're by Elizabeth Lynn Casey. This is actually a pen name for Laura Bradford, and I have not read any of Laura Bradford's other books, although I have collected a few of those that are written under the Laura Bradford name, which I believe is her real name. This is the only series that is written under the Elizabeth Lynn Casey name. I don't think any of these are available on audio, or I probably would have devoured them by now because I absolutely loved this first book. I'm pretty sure I rated it 5 stars. Now, my sister thought I would love it because it's very bookish. Here's the real big reason why I absolutely loved it. I completely related to the main character. Now, me as a 57-year-old, no, but I totally identified with her when I was that age because she is, sorry, I've got a dog down here that's, I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, she moved from the north to the south, so that was kind of a culture shock. She had a lot of difficulty fitting in. It wasn't for her lack of trying. She wanted to fit in. She very much did, but she found it very difficult for her as a northern person to fit in with the southern culture. And the people in her group, in her, I don't want to say peer group, her work group, her community, that's a better word. The people in her community that she saw on a daily basis, most of them were very resistant to letting her in the group. And I moved in 1988 from Oklahoma to Florida, where I still live. And in my job that I did for almost a year before I ran away from that job to work at Disney for the next 30 plus years, in that initial job that I held in a small town in Florida, I experienced, and I'm probably going to get teared up because it was tough. I was fresh out of grad school. I didn't even finish grad school, but I left grad school to get this job on the agreement that I would finish my degree, which I never did because I left that job. I just couldn't fit in. I tried. I don't know what I did wrong. I know a few things I did wrong, but part of it was me, part of it was them. And I felt like her. Oh my goodness, I just related to her so much because she felt like no matter what she did, she couldn't fit in with these people. And I felt so much of that as a young person moving across the country. I was so excited to, I was going on an adventure and I had a new job, a professional job, and I was thrilled. And I was so let down by not only myself, but by the people around me. So, this is why I love this so much. Now, you are not going to love it for the same reasons because, most of you are not going to have had that same experience that I did. I'm just telling you my own personal experience of why I love this book. Now, going back to the things I've told you about it, all of those things make it a really good book because you have that conflict. You have a person who is in a new situation, new surroundings, new people, who is in her mind trying really hard to fit in and having a hard time fitting in. Thankfully, there is one person in the book who does take her under her wing and basically kind of force the other people to deal with her, basically. Not that it's hard to deal with her. Me personally, I probably was hard to deal with. Anyway, I don't need to go into other details, but I know that Tiffany, the Beach Bum Bookworm, also loves this series. I think she's read them all. It's a 12-book series. Now, I am finally reading the second book, which is Death Threads. I just started it yesterday. I haven't even read a whole chapter, but this is going to be my book that starts with D for the Killing Time with Cozies ABC Challenge for this year. I think I said earlier, if these books had been on audio, I would have devoured them by now. I know I would have. But I am super excited to finally get to this next one. It may be another 5 years before I get the next one read, but just know it's not because I don't want to. I loved this first book, and I have every confidence that I will love the rest of them. So let me show you the series. So Deadly, Death Threads. Pinned for Murder, I believe is number 3. I picked them up out of my box, and now I don't know if I got them in the right order. I think I did. Reap What You Sow. Now, these covers are gorgeous. I just love these covers. Dangerous Alterations. Deadly Notions. Look at that dress. Let It Sow. Remnants of Murder. Taken In. Wedding Duress. Needle and Dread. And the last one, book 12, Patterned After Death. Now, as I've been going through these, I've been telling you if I had duplicates that I'll be putting on my eBay store. I do have a duplicate of one of the books, but I already have somebody in mind to send it to if she wants it. So this next series that I want to talk about, you're probably going to even wonder why I'm bringing it up. Well, the reason is because I have 9 of the first 10 books in this 16-book series on my shelves. So that's kind of the criteria for this video series, is to show you the books, the book series that I have collected a lot of. But you're probably going to wonder why I have saved them, because I looked back on Goodreads and I read the first book back in 2016. We read it for the Book One Cozies Club, which is a club that Di from Desus 19 Hearts used to host. And we read this in 2016 and I rated it 2 stars. I don't remember what I hated so much about it, but if I rate something 2 stars, it means I really didn't like it. And I even went back today to look at the archives of our discussion on the Mystery Madness Goodreads group in the Book One Cozies Club folder. So if you are a member of that group, well, even if you're not a member, you can still go back and see that if you want to see our discussion about this book. There was a lengthy post from another person talking about why she didn't like it, but I don't remember any of those things. I did reply back that I could see, some of those things, but I don't remember it. So I think I am going to read this again. And I looked on, because of the Binge Your Bookshelf challenge that I'm doing, I looked on Hoopla to see if these were available, and starting with book 4 all the way through book 15, they are on audio. So if I can read the first 3 books, then I'm good to go with the rest of the series on audio. So I want to reread this and remember why I disliked it so much. Anyway, this is Homicide in hardcover by Kate Carlisle. The series is called the Bibliophile Mysteries, and our main character is a book restorer. And in the first book, the person she works for, her mentor, who is a book restorer, is the victim. And so not only does she have to solve his murder, she has to finish this major book restoration project that he was working on. The career path is fascinating. I am just in awe that what they do in these books can even be done. Now, I know this is fiction, but I have to believe that it's possible to to restore a book the way that they're talking about. And I just think that's incredible. It's amazing. So anyway, I do want to give it another chance because I don't remember why I disliked it so much. If you have read this and you gave it 2 stars or 3 stars, let me know in the comments what you think it was that you didn't like about it. One thing that was noted in our discussion was, and one thing I brought up that I had no memory of, is that the main character is always talking about eating. Sorry, Emily's in here. The main character is always talking about eating, and it's almost like she's eating while she's restoring these priceless books. That seems kind of strange, but I don't know. Anyway, let's go through the series. I'll show you the books. I have the first... I have 9 out of the first 10. So we have Homicide in hardcover. That's book 1. Then we have If Books Could Kill. That's book 2. The Lies That Bind. And this is the one I have a duplicate of, so it will be going in my eBay inventory if anyone is looking for that book. Then book 4, I'm sorry. No. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4, yeah. Okay. Math. All right, book 4, Murder Undercover. I have a little note back here, though, that says there is a book 4.5, and I thought it was only on ebook, but when I was looking this up on Hoopla, book 4.5 is on audio on Hoopla. It's a 3-hour audiobook, so that's exciting. And it is called Pages of Sin. That's book 4.5, so I don't have it. I don't think it's available in physical form. So anyway, Murder Undercover, book 4, Pages of Sin, book 4.5. Book 5 is One Book in the Grave. Book 6, Peril in Paperback. Book 7, A Cookbook Conspiracy. Book 8 is the one I'm missing. It's called The Book Stops Here, so I'll put a little picture there. And book 9 is Ripped from the Pages. And then I've got book 10, which is Books of a Feather. So there are 6 more books. I'm not going to show you pictures of all of those because I want to get this uploaded as quick as possible. So just know that that's the first 10 and there's 6 more. So if you've read any of this series, let me know if you enjoyed it, what you thought about it, and if you plan to read more, or if you didn't finish it, if you started and didn't finish it, whatever, about this series or the other one. Let me know any thoughts you have on either of these series. And if you have other authors that you enjoy whose name starts with C, let me know in the comments. And you know, like I said, I have other books on my shelf by C authors, cozy mystery authors, but I'm just not going to mention them for the purposes of this video, but we might have some in common. So comment below and we'll chat about those other authors in the comments. So that's all for this video, and I will see you tomorrow, tomorrow or the next day, with another video about one more author whose name starts with C, who is very prolific and probably one of my most owned authors. You could probably guess who that is. But for now, that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.